Greetings, everyone. DFG here. You have your ticket? You don't have one, my friend? No problem. Just hit the description button below and come on in. I always get tongue twisted with that. But anyway, guys, a question. What good is it for any of us, or what good are any of us, if we're afraid to push the envelope? And what I mean by that, stretch our boundaries. Go beyond your natural, comfortable zone. What good are we if we're afraid to do that? And so, you know what? Today, in this message, I'm going to push that boundary. Okay? I always push it, but I'm going to push it again. Okay? And if you saw the title of the message, then you already know what I'm going to be talking about. Almost. All right? You see that funny little grin there? That means I got something special for some of you guys. But I want to talk about, this whole narrative around, one thing about an old man. When men get old, they speak their mind. They tell you whatever the hell they're thinking. And the reason they do that, because they don't give a crap. All right, they don't care, so they just got something to say, so they just let you have it. Well, I'm going to push the envelope on that narrative. First of all, I think it's hogwash. I think it's BS. Just because someone is older does not give them the right to be a big mouth, loud mouth, idiotic fool. And the reason I'm calling them big mouth, loud mouth, idiotic fools, and I'm talking about older men. And when I say older men, I'm talking about 50 years old and plus. And some of you guys may be looking at me saying, yeah, I'm talking about 50-year-old and plus. And if I fall in that category, so be it. And I'm not talking about every man that's 50 years old or plus, but most of them. They hide behind that curtain of, I'm going to speak my mind now. Well, you know what? I call them cowardly. And the reason I call them cowardly, because why all of a sudden now you want to, share your thoughts and share your opinions? Now you want to come in and now you've got something to say. And what I say is cowardly, because if you really had something to say, or better yet, if anybody should be willing to listen to what you have to say, you should have been saying something. Should have been talking a long damn time ago. I'm talking about when you were 20 years old, when you were 30 years old, when you were 40 years old, when you had the mojo, the juice, the energy, when you had something on the line, when you could have risked your ass to be able to influence and make a difference. And now that you have nothing to lose, you want to come back and you want to spread, your weak, ignorant, self-opinionated knowledge on the masses, and then you wonder why they want to tell you, go to hell. I don't want to hear nothing you have to say. And I don't blame them. Because again, you follow me, using your age as an excuse, to have a voice, it's, and when you didn't use that voice throughout your life, makes you somewhat disingenuous. And again, let me be clear, and I'll tell you, let me throw myself out there. And I throw myself out there boldly. I've always spoke my mind. Not only have I spoke my mind, I've walked my belief. Sometimes it got my ass thrown out the door. Sometimes it got me fired. Sometimes it got me hired. It definitely got me loved, and in some cases got me hated. But I think anyone that knows me will tell you that the one problem I've never had is speaking my mind and doing what I felt was right, regardless of the so-called laws and the rules and regulations. So all you old cats out there who want to now all of a sudden want to import your age wisdom on everybody, keep that shit to yourself. We don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. And I say we, because I don't want to hear it either. If you haven't been talking all along, then shut up and just be quiet and go ahead and die. Well, not too fast. Take your time, but all right. I apologize. I'm not encouraging you to go and die, but I am telling you, go sit your ass on a beach somewhere, or go sit on your back porch, get you a cigar, get you some fine whiskey or whatever, a nice glass of wine, and just chill. You've been chilling all of these for the last 30 years. Chill out now. We don't want to hear from you. What we want to hear from is men who have experience, who's been engaged, who's been involved the whole damn time. Now, I know some of you younger cats listen to this and say, good, finally somebody told me, my old head finally talking like he has some sense. Well, here's the second side of that story. Young men, my question to you is, what the hell are you doing? Are you an old man, covered in a young man's body? Are you making a difference? Where's your voice? What are you building? What are you learning? What are you teaching? What are you influencing? Are you afraid? Many of you guys, you don't say anything because I don't want to lose my job. I don't get fired. But you know what? You're that same old guy that I'm talking about. Coward. Scared to lose something to make a difference. Scared to lose something to make a difference. There's a true saying that any man that does not have something that in his life that is worth him dying for is someone that has no value, or his life has no value. So just as we're talking about these so-called old heads, you follow me, who need to go sit down and retire and just shut the hell up and stop using, I'm an old man now, I'm going to say whatever I'm thinking. If you're not saying anything, you're going to become him. And so, as far as I'm concerned, you're just as cowardly as he's ever been. Because he didn't start being a coward at 50 and 60, you follow me? And now he wants to say something. He was doing that same crap at 20, 30, and 40. And I will tell you, I know so many 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds who sitting around, they're nothing but a bunch of armchair quarterbacks, sitting around talking about a whole bunch of shit and ain't doing a damn thing. All they do is, they're whispering in the dark. You've ever been in an environment where there are people working together and someone comes up of who they would deem important, someone who really they need to be talking to about what their concerns are, and all of a sudden they get quiet? Or those, who whenever they have something to say that's really important, it's at home or to their little close-knitted group for fear that they may have to lose something because they said something that's relevant, something that puts their ass out there on the line. So you, young man, if you're that guy, you're that person, then you need to shut the hell up too. Because we don't want to hear the damn thing that you're saying. And sitting there blaming them for the very same thing that you're doing, because you're going to become them one day. Unless you're actively, right now, speaking up and speaking out and taking the lead and taking action. I was visiting in New Orleans not long ago, and one of my brothers brought a good friend over with him to visit while I was visiting. And we were sitting in and we were talking about, things going on with the economy, things that are going on with, the conditions, the mass shootings and things of that nature. And I suspect this fellow was probably in his late 30s, and as we were talking, he made the comment, we don't have any leadership. And I looked at him, I said, well, how odd. I said, young man, let me tell you something then. And he was talking about we don't have a Malcolm and we don't have a Martin, and so forth and so on. I said, if you don't have a leader, then you need to be the damn leader. I mean, you're the leader. If there's nobody willing to take charge, that means that you're the person that's supposed to be taking charge. And I say this to all young men. I mean, exactly when do you think you're supposed to, open up your eyes and start doing something? All these people that these young people admire, they talk about Malcolm, they talk about Martin and Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton with the Black Panther Party was 21 years old when he was assassinated, not when he took the lead in the Chicago area for the Black Panther Party. He was 21 years old when he was assassinated. Martin Luther King, when he led the Montgomery bus boycott, one of the biggest, most effective boycotts in the history of the United States, he was 25 years old. Malcolm X, when he led the Nation of Islam under Elijah Muhammad, when he started opening mosques all over the country, speaking all over the country, Harvard, all these important, Irish League schools, etc., in his early 30s, guys, mid-30s. So all these leaders that you're waiting for, you're already supposed to be doing it. Who are you waiting for? And what are you talking about? And what I'm saying to you, if you're not careful, you're going to be that same old loudmouth fool that we're talking about right now. Who got, now all of a sudden he's got something to say. When it mattered, when he could have made a difference, he didn't have a damn thing to say. Just sat on his ass, criticizing. And some of you young men, you're that same person sitting on your ass criticizing, pointing your fingers at others, so that one day others will be pointing their fingers. Well, let me be clear. Pointing your fingers at others, and one day somebody can be pointing their fingers at you. That group that's coming behind you. Them little teenagers right now, they're watching your ass. They're looking at you. And when you get to be 50 and they're 30, they're going to say the same thing about your shiftless, unproductive, loudmouth. Please go sit somewhere down and retire and be quiet. That's if your ass have a damn job. Based off of this economy and what's going on, if you're 30 years old right now, good luck. You know what I'm saying? 20 years from now. You better be, again, you better be creating something. You better be building something. Because there ain't going to be anything over there waiting for you. Your job, just over broke, J-O-B. That's not going to be there. There's, AI, information technology. That's going to, IT, that's going to take care of that job. So this I say again, and when you say, okay, well, where you going with the message? The message is, you know what? It's a young man's time to open up his mouth and speak up. You know what I'm saying? The young man should be visionaries. You know what I'm saying? And the old men, they should be the dreamers. They should be the ones who are inspiring the young man. Look, live your dream. This is what you can do. This is what I learned. This is what I'll pass on to you based off of when I was your age and what I did and what I was able to do. And to a lesser degree, what I still am doing by passing it on to you. But if you haven't done a damn thing, old men, then what the hell are you passing on to them? Your opinions? That's based off of nothing. You got nothing to show for yourself. Nothing, that shows any value. No track record of ever influencing, helping, or building anything. And you really think somebody wants to hear your damn opinion. And again, this doesn't apply to all, older men. I'm one of them. And I'm going to tell you right now, I guarantee you, if you know anything about my past, one thing you will know, that no one will ever say, I sat on my ass whistling Dixie. You follow me? I've been engaged from the time I understood what my role was as a human being. I've taken that time and I've put in that work, and I'm still putting that work in, by the way. That's why I'm doing this damn video. Okay, talking about this particular subject matter. So the old men who's supposed to be, when it talks about dreaming dreams, it means that you should help people see the big picture. You should be able to help them understand how to navigate through the trials and the roadblocks and all the things that's going to try to discourage the young men. That's your role now. If you have done anything and learned any damn thing. And young men, you should be out there leading the pack. You should be out there, knocking down walls and building bridges. You should be the ones out there now that's making sure that this world is going to be a better world for the young people that are behind you. And you should be seeking the knowledge and the wisdom of older men to add with your energy and your innovativeness so you have the best of both worlds. You're not sitting there with a limited view, learning on the fly, as they say, constantly getting your ass kicked. You don't have to do that if you align yourself up with experienced, engaged men who have taken the time and have spent their lives work making this place, this world, a better place for others. Like myself and many, many others. But for you old timers, you old heads who haven't done a damn thing, and now you run around, you want to cuss everybody out, and you want to tell everybody what's right and who's wrong and what's wrong with the world, and you haven't done it, what's wrong with America, what's wrong with black people and crime. Shut the hell up. Sit your cowardly ass down. Because we don't need you conflating our message, watering down our message. And for you young men again, who are you? That's my question. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? Are you a wolf in sheep clothing? You might say, well, DFG, what do you mean a wolf in sheep's clothing? Are you someone just passing the time away and then down the road you're going to come back and blame others? In other words, you're just as guilty as the old men you criticize because you ain't doing a damn thing just like they didn't do a damn thing. That's what I mean. Well, you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. And if you are, you still have time. You can do something about it. Because if you don't, that very person that you criticize, that is you. You're just getting a chance to see yourself projected in your future. But if you want to be a change agent, you want to live a life of significance where people will be able to talk about you in the terms of the legacy that you left, then you got to get engaged right now. You got to be about it right now. Leave the criticizing on the side and get out there and learn. Line yourself up with people who have wisdom, knowledge, experience, so that you can gain the best of what they have with the best of what you have, and then you can make a life or have a life of significance. Okay? So, I told you it's going to be a little tricky message. But I say this out of respect to the older men who have been out about being about it, and to the young men who we need to be being about it. Love you guys. Talk to you later. DFG. Bye now.